And we're going to bring on our final guest of the day. We were supposed to have one after her, but he was unfortunately unable to join us. So we're going to bring on Meena. Where is Miss Meena? Somewhere. Is she here? Where is Miss Meena? There she is. There we go. There we go. Oh, and there's a little bit of information about her. So you can kind of learn a little bit about her. But Meena is also joining us from Canada, I believe.
Yes, very much so. Hello, hello.
Hi, Miss Meena. And I'm great. And where are you in Canada?
Right in Toronto. You can see the CN Tower right behind me.
I can.
I'm trying to see it. I need to come a little bit this way so you can actually.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The 3-person kind of throws people off too, because it's you don't get your whole screen. It kind of blocks you in there. But so you've had a very interesting career, and you currently work helping job seekers in your area. So I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about you first.
Definitely. I'm a careers educator. So when I say careers educator, I do anything and everything around careers, helping people get employed, helping people get connected, helping newcomers, primarily newcomers, professionals in transition, new grads and international students achieve their career goals. I work with a college, one of the biggest colleges in North America, called Humber College. But I also run a social enterprise called Destination CEO, which really means you are the CEO of your destiny. We can help you. We can provide you with tools. We can provide you with opportunities. But at the end of the day, you are the CEO. You need to decide the route you want to take. So that's a little bit about me.
Do what?
Yeah. I love what you're doing there, and I was looking at your actual site, and it looks like you actually have different programs that you put people through and you work them through. And one of the stats that you had on your LinkedIn page was that over 90% of participants find employment within 6 weeks. I thought that was incredible. Talk to us a little bit about how you work with candidates to really get them placed that quickly. I think it's fantastic.
So I've been working on this formula for the past 10 years, and we've been implementing it in various settings. It's all about building the relevant connections and having an opportunity to get past the gatekeeper. So where a lot of focus is spent on resumes and on cover letters and stuff, and though those are very, very important tools, but I really feel that magic happens when humans meet. Yeah. And I've been watching, Tony's song and all the speakers you've had. It's like, how do I beat this? Like, come on, guys.
It's not a competition. Don't worry.
You said so. But, when you have, when you follow and act like Tony, then it's like, I am so full of energy right now. I have so much to share. And 20 minutes, like seriously. Oh
my goodness.
But yes, so our focus is about polishing the tools that you need for job search, and then putting you in front, teaching you how to be in front of employers of your choice. So within 6 weeks, you've had the opportunity to polish your tools, to connect with people who are working in the fields that you're interested in, connecting with the hiring managers of those companies, and without asking for a job, credibly introducing yourself, where the employer themselves ask, what can I do for you? You're so amazing. Like, we have a position, or we may create a position, or I know somebody that is looking. So that's been the whole Destination CEO approach. And we've been successful so far with, 90 to 100% employment outcomes.
Yeah, I have a question.
That's
maybe
phenomenal.
This gets into kind of the micro component of what you're talking about, but I'm curious because it's something that I haven't heard yet. What is your thoughts and recommendations around how many targeted companies a candidate should have? That they're, what should that list? How many? What's your thoughts around that? Because I've kind of heard all over the place.
So when people come to the Destination CEO Career Accelerator program, I ask them to first create a list of 10 companies. But it's not like, okay, I want to work for Google, I want to work for Facebook. I want a little more deep dive. Why do you want to work for this company? Who is the person you want to work under? So the whole process is not, and I know that you guys have talked about it, it's not about the company as much as it's about the leader that you want to work under, right? So don't choose, like I think, Catherine, you were saying this earlier in one of the slots, that you could have a fantastic job with a phenomenal company, but if your boss is a boss,
yep.
then you will be bossed.
All right. And I can't be credited with that, by the way. I said it on the show, but I actually stole that from Dan. I did. I stole that.
My philosophy has been exactly that. Find your dream boss and you'll find your dream job, regardless of the company. So,
most of the jobs I've taken over the years have been more about who I was going to be working with and what I could learn from them more than anything else, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's what set me up for the successes that I've had today.
Yes.
So yeah, 100%.
I always say 3 days consecutively, if you wake up not wanting to go to work because of your boss, it's not the company for you. You need to start looking. So we start off with a list of 10 companies and then dig deeper into the boss. And then we start talking to the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how the magic happens. It's by creating a very particular profile. So if I were to contact, for example, a CIO of an organization, what will make me stand out? It's not that I want to work for that organization, but I want to work for that CIO because of his or her career trajectory, because of their journey, because of what they've been able to achieve, because of their recommendations. When somebody takes that much time researching the boss, right, that person themselves feel, oh my God, this person really took the time to research me, not just the organization. What can I do back? And that's when the whole the scenario changes.
Such an interesting concept, right? Because we're talking about perceived value from a candidate's perspective.
Yes.
Right.
And then from the employer perspective, if you're a leader in that organization, to your story, Meena, the CIO in that case, how can you leverage yourself to put yourself on stage to be that person, so that way you can compete for the best talent, right? I mean, because that's the other coin, right? I mean, you want the best talent, be the best leader, and you'll attract people that want to be a part of that.
Yes,
that's so true.
And you were talking about, how companies, the leaders are still making the big bucks, and then they're letting go employees, right? Talking about the yachts. Well, most of the companies that I work with, for example, one particular company, which is one of the biggest car dealerships in North America, the management took the cuts, 40% pay cut, so that the employees wouldn't get cut.
Right.
And
there was a restaurant in Texas where that's a big chain there, where the CEO said no salary for the whole year because he could save so many employees just by doing that. That's incredible.
Yeah, and I'm proud to say that the entire team of IT are my students there. So I was like, cool.
Oh, that's nice. That's so great.
Yeah.
So what an interesting situation that we're in. Obviously, with the pandemic, one of the things that's going to come out of this is that we're going to see the true colors of people and organizations, and then the aftershock of that, or the kind of the ripple effect of that, is going to be candidates and really great talent, when all this stuff continues to ramp up, is going to say, hey, how did that company act? I'm interested in that company, but how did they treat their people? And that's going to be a make it or break it, I think, for folks. And so what a great opportunity. And I know there's a lot of negative with the pandemic, obviously, but the positive, there are some there, right? We really are seeing people's true colors. And I think that's going to be indicative of how people choose their next opportunity.
And even into, and one of the other really cool things that we're seeing here in the US, and please tell me, Meena, if you're seeing it in Canada too, is that companies are just deciding, let's just stay virtual. Our people are still productive. They're, and this is working out really good, and it's saving us money, and they're happier. Are you seeing that trend as well?
Oh yes, a lot of companies have decided to let go of the expense of the infrastructure and
Absolutely.
let people work from home. Gives them more productivity. And I would tell my students that, look at the Google analogy. The reason why Google has created this amazing office is because they've given you everything inside the office. You don't really need to
Mm-hmm.
get out. Now, working from home, you have that, right?
Yes.
So what used to be a luxury before now has become the norm. And with the
Yeah.
norm, it's about, okay, how do you re-strategize your career? What's the new norm? So one of the things that I do on a weekly basis is I bring together my participants that are job seekers, and I do a spotlight show similar to what you're doing right now. And I get them to talk about who they are, what their career trajectory is, and what they feel they can do in this new norm.
I like
So
that. Yeah. And that's so interesting. And I've had people that have the most interesting ideas that have kind of spawned from this whole pandemic. And one of the things that one of my actually former clients, they kind of graduated out of needing me, but what they started doing is they yeah, graduated a client. That's real great. But they they started reaching out to additional countries, Canada being one of them, because they said, well, if we're going to go remote anyway, and we want true diversity and true new ideas and all of those new perspectives, let's just go global. And so somebody from China and somebody from Africa and who was in Egypt, and they had somebody in Canada, and it was very interesting. And they started growing that direction. And I thought, how clever and how smart,
that's true. And the other thing that Destination CEO, or the whole concept of Destination CEO, is the mentorship, the power of mentorship. So
Yeah.
as a job seeker or as a new grad, it's very intimidating to go up to someone like yourself and say, you're doing so amazing. You've grown so much. Could you guide me? It takes a lot of guts. So the difference is, what I've done is I've brought those leaders in. I go to them and I say, I've got these group of new grads or a group of newcomers who want to start their careers. You've done so well. You've had this journey. Would you please be kind to spare some time and, do like a guest lecture or come and do some speed mentoring? And you know what? It's just that I bring them, they see the talent, they hear the stories, they're in love, and then woohoo, magic happens. My job's
But no, that's
done.
really great, and that's so valuable, and that's something that's a resource that really should spread more. So I want to commend you on that structure. And you know what? That ties into something we were saying earlier. Don't do the standard, right? Do something different. Everybody else is telling people how to go out and find these people. You're bringing them in and going, here are the people. They're going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. And that's so much more helpful for people that are especially introverted, and that are quiet. I just don't care. So I'll just go out and talk to anybody, but that's me, and then you've got Dan, who may not have started that way, but now he can certainly talk to everybody and he puts out all this content and everything. But it's about where you are now. Like Dan said earlier in the show, it's about where you are now. And so it's a really cool perspective to have on it. Are you aware, do you work in the United States too, or just in Canada?
I have, because it's 100% virtual. It used to be hybrid before. Now it's 100% virtual. I do have clients from United States who are coming. We have clients from the Middle East, from India, so worldwide, that are connecting, because this whole process, it's not limited to a country or a city or a nation.
Right.
It's with everybody, right? I would say, like, think about hundreds of years ago, when people were looking for jobs, and where it was smaller communities, it was always the referral, right? I don't have a job, but here's a letter, go to my friend in this city or this community or this country. And so it's the same thing. It's about building that confidence to connect with the right people. And
right. 100%. And I think it's a resource that can be used worldwide for sure. And it's something that people need to utilize that are not quite comfortable doing that for themselves, because with the way that the market is right now, the personal connection matters even more than it normally does. And it always matters, but
Yes.
even more so right now, I would definitely say. So I wanted to ask you too, because I know, different countries handle things different ways. So what does hiring for diversity look like in Canada? What is that like there? Is it kind of the same here, or what is that like?
Well, diversity, I mean, Canada's beige. When I say beige, we're all mixed, right? Our immigrant population is one of the highest, right? We've been open to immigrants. We've been open to bringing in a lot of immigrants. So diversity, we are still seeing challenges, but it is way more diverse than I think US. It's getting there. We do a lot for women empowerment. We did a lot for Black Lives Matter. We are pushing the boundaries, and people are more and more, welcoming to diversity. I think it's beautiful. And earlier, I think it was Stacey who was saying about somebody with certain disabilities who were having challenges, right? So in terms of disabilities, we've had somebody from the IT background who've had hearing and speaking disability, but was able to find himself a phenomenal IT job because of the power of technology. So
good. That's really, really good. And I always tell people, if you are different, great, embrace it and run with it, and just be you, and something great will come of it. I once placed an IT gentleman who made, over $250,000 a year, who refused to speak to people. He could, but he didn't want to because he was autistic and he was uncomfortable. So he would just tell people, he said, I will do one speaking interview with you, and then after that, you are to address me with email. And that was it. He did.
Wow.
And if he really needed a meeting, like he agreed to certain meetings like periodically, but he's like, I don't want you to call me every day. I don't want you to do this. But he was so good at what he did that he could be that particular, and he was very, very talented. So I tell people, just steer into the curve, just whatever it is that's unique about you, just steer into that.
Yes. And, I find, and I don't know, please tell me, Dan, Kathy, in this case, do you find that people find it really difficult to market themselves, to to make that ask?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Actually, I was going to commend you for helping people take the first step, right? Because this so directly relates to me and kind of where I was several months ago, that I wasn't really putting. I mean, 9 months ago, I wasn't putting any content out, and wasn't marketing myself, wasn't doing anything for myself, and I will forever do that now to some degree, because of the impact and the successes that I've seen from that. But just like anything, we're not motivated to continue to do something when we don't see the direct impact, which is why oftentimes people give up on it early. They don't stick through things. But it's nice. I kind of look at it from a perspective that you're forcing people into it, and with a good heart and a good mind, and that they will feel the success of it if once they start doing it. But oftentimes it's just getting people to take the first couple steps. And so I love that you're already creating that environment, because when you do that, you're creating familiarity for the individual to feel what it feels like to be in that space. And so now it's way less daunting because I know what it feels like. So I love that you're already doing that for them and pushing them beyond what is comfortable. I think that when we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, amazing things can happen. It's just 100%. That we're willing to do that and take that first step.
And I mean, that's how to your point, Dan, that's how I ended up a business owner. I just said, I'm going to quit this job and I'm going to start my own business. That sounds way better to me. And so I did it. And every entrepreneur at some point just, Tapan said something about that. And Anthony talked about that. And we've had several other people. Casey kind of did that at one point with part of her career. It's just an important step. You're doing that, Trevor, we always talk about Trevor Houston with the Who You Know show. Same kind of thing. Foster, all of them. Meena, I'm sure you did this at some point where you just kind of take that jump and go off. But that's how you grow. That's how you do something incredible. Is at some point, even if it's not starting your own company, it's moving to the right career and just saying, "All right, let's do it." No more excuses.
True. And even though I push and tell them right at the orientation, you're signing up with the devil, so know that you are going to be pushed. But I make it easy for them because the first time that I encourage them to post something about themselves, they get to tag mentors who are already senior industry leaders within our network, right? And they see, and I'm not kidding with you, they tell me that they've seen 1,000% increase in visibility.
Nice.
Because our networks are so huge. We've been here for so long. They're just starting. So when they see that automatically motivates them. And
that's fantastic.
Then it's encouraging them to do another step. And then you don't need to. You just sit at the back and you're like, okay, now you know what to do. Let's continue doing. Where you're struggling, I'll jump in. So
that's wonderful. That's really beautiful. And we're gonna have to wrap up now. But thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Meena, for coming. Thank you to all of our guests. And connect with Meena, by the way. Connect with her on LinkedIn. She will talk to you. Trust me. She didn't know who I was, and she talked to me. This crazy girl from America reaching out to her.
Loved it. Thank you.
So definitely connect. If you want her help, I know she'd be glad to help you out. So connect with her. Check out her services. They are really unique and very, very valuable. So thank you again, Meena.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Dan. It was fantastic being here. And yes, please feel free to reach out, Destination CEO.
Thank you so very much. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.